Mornings can be kind of chaotic in my household, and I'm a type of person that likes to make from scratch good, nourishing meals for every meal for my family. Sometimes that's not entirely sustainable though. Join me in my kitchen today as I take the day to meal prep a bunch of breakfast items that we can just grab and heat up throughout the week. The items that I decided to prep were some hard-boiled eggs, breakfast burritos, and restock our sandwich loaf bread. Homemade tortillas are one of the first items that I learned how to make from scratch, and truly, once you learn how to make homemade tortillas, store-bought has nothing on homemade. It does not taste as good. Homemade tortillas are super simple, and if you are somebody who is looking to start making your meals from scratch, I highly recommend starting off with homemade tortillas. A couple things that I have learned that have greatly helped my journey on making homemade tortillas are for rolling out the dough, you want to make sure that you have a flattened disc ball and press down on it and then start in the middle with your rolling pin and roll upwards and then move your rolling pin back to the middle and roll downwards. Then pick up the tortilla and flip it and continue this process until you'll get your desired shape of the tortilla. You can end up with some really wonky shapes if you don't have a tortilla press. This is what I have found that works best for me, and I get a consistent circle shape each time. I also make sure my rolling pin is floured very well and also the surface I'm rolling the tortillas out on as well. Otherwise, the tortillas can stick to the counter and it can kind of mess up the shape. Another thing is for preheating your pan that you cook them in, it is very important to make sure it is heated enough. If it is not heated enough, your tortillas will end up cooking longer and then they'll become crispy and crunchy and just not soft and chewy like the desired outcome you would want. So I recommend preheating your pan for about 15 minutes, which is the time that the tortilla dough needs to rest. So just preheat your pan while the dough is resting. One rule that I live by in my kitchen when making bread doughs is no matter what happens, always bake it. You never know what quote unquote mistake could end up being the best thing and something that you start implementing going forward with your bread loaves or whatever you're making. For example, this bread was a brand new recipe I was trying out. I typically make sourdough. My husband requested a yeasted bread, so I was trying out a new recipe, and this bread just seemed so dense and like it was going to be extremely dry, and I just really did not have any hope for it. I baked it anyway, and it turned out to be some of the best homemade sandwich bread I've ever made. These did end up rising really beautifully. They do still feel really dense, like too much flours in them, but like I said, it was so sticky that I just kept putting flour in it, so that could totally be my error, but I'm gonna bake these and we'll hopefully hope for the best. We'll bake these for 30 minutes. For my breakfast burritos, I decided to do turkey bacon, scrambled eggs, diced potatoes, some cheese, and some black bean salsa. These are typically the ingredients I always use when making my breakfast burritos. It's just what my family likes, but the nice thing about them is they're totally customizable, and each time you make them, you can do something completely different. I highly recommend using a black bean salsa in your breakfast burritos. If you've never used it before, it elevates it so much and makes it seem like such a luxury experience every single time I reheat one in the microwave. For my potatoes, I decided to use 2 baking potatoes, so they're quite large. This gave me 8 breakfast burritos, and I still had a little bit left over. I do like to dice my potatoes quite small when I make breakfast burritos, just because I don't want super large chunks of potato. And not only that, it cooks a little bit better and reheats a little bit better the smaller the chunks are. For my seasoning, I just used some olive oil, garlic powder, onion powder, and I accidentally dumped probably like half the bottle of paprika in these. To make this go even quicker, I am going to air fry this portion. Not gonna lie, I am exhausted. I've been going at this, let's see, for 3 hours now. So it is exhausting, but it's gonna save me so much time in the mornings. I usually do this like once a month. I will just prep a bunch of breakfast stuff. And then when we run out, because I'm not doing it again for a month because of how much work it is. But it's usually always the same thing. Breakfast burritos, the eggs. We eat those eggs every single morning. I think we go through 6 hard-boiled eggs. And that's a lot of eggs and a lot of money, but we love to have them with like elote seasoning and pepperoncinis. If you've never had it that way, you need to try it. It is so delicious. But I'm just gonna air fry these for, at 400, I'll say probably for 20 minutes. I think before I get started on the eggs, like the scrambled eggs for the burritos and peeling those eggs, I am going to need a coffee to refuel myself. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and then we're gonna take a break for lunch. I don't know if I'm gonna get to the pancakes today. I'm gonna be completely honest, I'm not feeling it. Pancakes might have to be something that I continue tomorrow, but we'll see where we get to it with it. If you are someone that is desiring to start making more of your meals from scratch, I highly recommend starting small and working your way up to the level you want to be. I think with social media, it is so easy to get caught up in, if you want to be a from scratch homemaker, then the misconception is that you have to make absolutely every item from scratch, otherwise you're not a from scratch homemaker. Honestly, that's just not the reality of it, and everybody's seasons of life look so different. Everyone's in a different place. There's some things that are going to be sustainable for some people and some things that are just not going to work out for others. It's all about finding the balance and what works for you and your family. I started off with making 1 to 2 items from scratch, and once I perfected those items and found the recipes that I liked, I would add another item to the list. Another thing is, it's not sustainable for everybody to make every single meal from scratch. I certainly don't want to give off the wrong idea that I always make every meal from scratch, that we never eat out, and that we don't buy store-bought items, because that's just not true. And the reality of it is breakfast is a from scratch item because I spent a day meal prepping items. Lunch, I'm not gonna lie, is a bag of Tyson frozen nuggets in the air fryer for 6 minutes, and we're dipping it in some ranch and ketchup. Dinner is the one meal every single day that is completely from scratch from start to finish, and that is because I simply have the most time out of my day to prepare a from scratch dinner, as opposed to crazy chaotic mornings and lunch just needing something quick and easy. Roll it. You're gonna roll it like a normal burrito, but the trick is to get a little bit of your cheese and put it on the end, so that way when you go to heat your burrito up, the cheese melts as a glue, and then your burrito stays closed. It doesn't try to fly open on you. And then to wrap it, I'm gonna be honest, I struggle with this every single time. But I just have some parchment paper here and try to over the top a couple of times, 3 times. Then I'm gonna cut the end because I think, yeah. I'm gonna try to fold this top bit underneath the burrito. And then lift the burrito up and tuck this underneath everything that we just did there. For reheating these burritos, I do store them in the freezer, and I reheat them in this parchment paper, which is why I decided to roll them in this. I put them in the microwave on the defrost setting for about 90 seconds each side. My freezer is quite cold, so it is frozen rock solid. And then I take it out of the parchment paper and heat it for another minute in the microwave to make sure everything is completely cooked through. I don't know about anybody else, but I have had the hardest time peeling hard-boiled eggs lately. I don't know if it's just me, but I do soak them in an ice bath for 15 minutes after boiling, and I'm still having such a difficult time. Well, that concludes my breakfast meal prep for today. I did not get around to the pancakes. That's okay. We'll do that another day. But that's it for today. I will meet you guys here back next week. Bye for now.